Well, hello and welcome to another video. You see, I've been pretty busy lately, a lot with social media and whatnot, so if you really want to keep in touch with me or see what other dumb shit I post, make sure you go to Twitter and just follow me there at NECRO_13. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this new video. It's about anime YouTubers or anime reviewers, whatever you want to call them, pretty much. YouTube is a place of confirmation bias. It's where people come to consume content by people that match their biases for that reason. I myself am guilty of this, but I think I'm a little bit more aware, not to toot my own horn. And this is all whether it be video games or anime to even movies, TV, and tech reviews. There's always someone out there for everyone. Anime YouTubers are abundant, simply because any form of art or entertainment is subjective and people will have different views. They provide those. And like the trolls in my comments section, they say, who cares and why do I have to listen to you anyways? Well, it all kind of came about when I was looking at a MyAnimeList forum thread that they had, and one of the things that they talked about was anime analysis channels and what their thoughts on it were. And pretty much they were the same as what I thought they would be. Pretty much either you needed them or they were just redundant. For the record, I personally don't identify with them. I just kind of watch anime casually, and I don't do it for a job. I'd love to report on anime just because it's like a hobby that I have, like PC gaming, but except it's less expensive. One commenter on that thread wrote, I don't have time for them. Also, other opinions don't interest me. One commenter on Facebook wrote, not a subscriber of any, don't need someone else critiquing stuff I enjoy and taking the fun out of it. Ironically, I'll analyze movies, TV shows all day, but with the anime it feels like the community is so toxic when it comes to this that I'd rather not partake in the first place. I go to Misty for the occasional recommendation though. Someone on the same thread also wrote, I have one or two ways to describe YouTubers who are critical of anime. Ew. Get them out of here. Okay. Now those are just some of the people that don't necessarily see the need for anime YouTubers or reviewers, but then there are some who actually still do watch them. Out of a lot of the names that I've examined, a couple of them that pop up are pretty much Chibi Reviews, Misty Chronexia, and sometimes it's even Giguk, who I've recently gotten into watching. Examples of this can be where someone said Chibi Reviews is up, Misty Chronexia is eh, and Code Provider is down. The Glass Reflection with Arcada does some amazing work. Always very professional, put together, and gives honest, reputable information about anything anime related. And even at the bottom, Dan Lawler says, they're all pointless, just watch anime yourself, or read. Reading takes less time than listening to someone speak generally. Super Eyepatch, Wolf, and Giguk are huge thumbs up for me. Digibro is pretty Boy, you better get ready, cause this next one is a long boy. It's a paragraph. He wrote an entire short story on this, but he goes on to say, Mother's Basement is a joke who cannot grasp the concept of making his points flow together and constantly shoehorns in a bunch of irrelevant stuff that just makes it a pain in the ass to follow his videos. I've always heard good things about his OP videos, and the couple I watched I took no issue with, but his analysis videos are garbage, and I'm getting to the point where I'm about to stop following him because I just can't be arsed to keep up with the schizophrenic way he ham-fists things like shilling for his sponsors or swipes at series he dislikes in ways that are practically entirely removed from what the video he is making is supposed to be about and serve no purpose other than to get in the way. It's annoying to follow him because it actively requires me to sort out what's relevant to the point he's trying to make and what isn't. Then, when I whittle the points, he tries to make down to what the core idea of what he's saying is. I get nonsensical absurdity that just makes the video feel like he's dragging out a claim he cannot substantiate properly, i.e. he did a video over Magic School anime and the main point was all these shows are just blatant Harry Potter ripoffs trying to cash in on the worldwide popularity of Harry Potter, which almost makes the video seem like a shitpost to me. Top it off with a consistently douchebaggish attitude, and I'm hard-pressed trying to find anything redeeming about his non-OP videos. I take a kind of cruel pleasure in harshly shit-talking him because he just acts like a condescending ass so often for no real reason though, so at least he can give me that satisfaction if nothing else. Digibro isn't particularly interesting and seems kind of arrogant, which is off-putting, but by and large I take little issue with his content existing. And while I find myself disliking his content more often than not, at least when he makes a video I can agree on, I can actually listen to him talk about it because he doesn't ham-fist things like shilling for his sponsors or unrelated swipes at series he doesn't like when they don't have a place being there. I like him more than Mother's Basement. Glass Reflection isn't somebody I watch much of, but while he seems infinitely more likable than Digi or Mother's Basement, I find him kind of dull. On the whole, it's just kind of sluggish listening to him at times. I like him more than Digi and Mother's Basement. It goes on and on. I mean, you could just sit there and listen to it and watch it if you want, but for the most part, he calls them all by name and I can agree with him. I mean, I'm sure not everybody likes the sound of my voice either because I'm just monotone and kind of bland. But at least when I try to make a video, it's because my videos are shitty quality. It's fine. I sometimes hear these anime reviewers and anime YouTubers and what they say. They can pique my interest with something they may be discussing. Super Eye Patch Wolf, for example, is really good at this. But even outside of the things like this, others have either a similar agenda to each other, either jump cut videos like The Anime Man or Lost Pause, or anime clips as their video with either no or limited face-to-face interaction like the last previous ones. I'm talking about Digibro, Mother's Basement, and people of that sort. To be clear, this isn't a hate video or to bash them. Yet. I think people are already integrated into the camp that they choose to follow. Sometimes they make dumb videos that will garner negative reaction in Neo-Yokio, and some will make their magnum opus Neo-Yokio. Some claim I make videos just for the views or to have my opinion out there for people so I can get traffic. Well, one, that's not a bad idea, and two, isn't that the point of YouTube? I mean, to have your channel be noticed? It doesn't matter. If you're still on the fence about these anime YouTubers and reviewers, I think it's best to see what they do. Some of these things may have varying results, but I've come up with about 4 not very good sections to start with. One of the sections that I brought is content. Anime YouTubers are a dime a dozen, and they all have a different way to convey a message or create content. For example, Foreverworld usually makes his videos on shonen series. Digibro does some philosophical stuff, and Super Eye Patch Wolf makes detailed analysis videos. My content is terrible the most, and some listen to me when they work. I'm sure hearing my voice really puts a damper on things, so I do want to apologize for that. But when you look at the comments in some of the forums on MyAnimeList, they seem to watch anime YouTubers for specific things. One of the more prominent ones is Giguk, who seems like a genuinely great person. His content is usually parodies, but he also gives an overview of the season after watching the first few episodes and gives his first impressions. He throws in skits and makes fun of things that he wants, and finding the content that's right for you will always lead you to the people you want to communicate and associate with. It's what I do almost every day, but this isn't something that really needs a section with a lot of details, so we'll just go ahead and move on to the next one, which is support. I think this one is going to be the heftiest one of them all. But you see, there are things that anime YouTubers do. One of them is become corporate slaves or shills. This topic isn't as hot as many would assume, but when you look at the enormous amount of ads run before and during their videos, it's apparent. In fact, it's so apparent that anime snob actually found some comments where they had been running ads all through their video. Now, I'm not saying running ads is a bad thing, but generally if you're watching a podcast or something that is a long length of time, you'll usually put ads right into the middle of those videos and it gives you more money. People ultimately want to watch their content ad-free, which is why paid services like YouTube Red exist. Now, I don't enable monetization on my videos for that reason. I'm a firm believer in having everything easy and accessible for everyone, which makes for a better experience. Now, I'm not everyone and they're not me. Obviously, I don't have funding quite like they do, but when you're making Crunchyroll money or sponsorship money, I find it incredibly hard to ask for even more money on Patreon. I mean, I ask for money on Patreon, but that's only if you guys deem it to be so. But regardless, there's nothing wrong with it until you get to the point where there are $50 tiers asking people for money to get more voting power and personal shoutouts in videos. I mean, you'll get no complaints from me if you guys donate $50, but only if you truly think I'm deserving of it. Now, most of them disclose that they're sponsored by something, for example, Crunchyroll. Sometimes they may appear as a guest during a sponsored event like Crunchyroll Expo, which I'm never going to. I'm never going to go to Crunchyroll Expo. It's just not going to happen. I won't do it. In fact, if you want to see something that's really similar to corporate shilling, you can actually go to Mother's Basement channel, which I am subscribed to him, and there's a reason I haven't really watched a lot of his videos. It's pretty much because he is a corporate shill. He came out with a video about a day ago, at least from recording this, which is why we love Food Wars, and it pretty much glosses over all the things that make it a success. Well, Crunchyroll gives him money, and that show is running on Crunchyroll right now, so what better way to promote it? Now, I'm not saying that this is the only example and it's the most damning evidence, but if you look at his other videos talking about Sword Art Online, he has 4 videos pretty much telling you how awful it really is. And then when he gets a little bit of money from, publicizing a lot of the things that he is supposed to be shilling out for, like book discounts, he has a video called What SAO Does Right. Why do so many people love SAO? And that's kind of odd to me. I don't really see the point in being sponsored to say good things about something that you absolutely hate. Now that that section is done and can be easily debunked, let's move on to the next one, which is goals, which doesn't really seem like a section, I just kind of made it up. Now there's nothing wrong with having goals, everyone should have them. Don't let anybody tell you that otherwise. And even for me, I have a list of goals for the future and things I want to accomplish, like getting 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube, to get that awesome plaque. I'm going to take it to conventions if I ever go to them, and then have everyone sign it that's, viewed me before, and then take pictures of it with me, of course, or you can just take pictures of it with yourself. Also, just moving to Japan. It's just going to be a great time. But there's anime YouTubers that are established, like Misty Cronexia and Chibi Reviews, that make a shit ton of money just from Patreon and YouTube ad money combined. Their goals are pretty simple too. They want to create higher quality content or be able to travel the world. Sounds like some basic things that I want to do, right? Well, their goals also include upgrading hardware and making their living situations better. Now, I'm not throwing shade at where they live, and I own my own house and I work full time to support myself and hobbies and things like that. I do all that stuff with my own money. I don't take it from you wonderful people. But I don't think that you would want my goal to be to buy a mansion and then, make a video about it. Looking at you, Misty. Goals can usually attract people or deter them from helping you. People like you are smart and want to see where the future may lead for the ones that you enjoy watching, which a couple of you have been here from day one, which I do appreciate, and there's no words in the human language that can express my gratitude. So with this heartfelt section out of the way, let's move on to pretty much the biggest one, I think. I think I said that about support, but it's probably this one, and it's personalities. Now this one is a biggie, so believe it or not, I actually enjoy talking to everyone, or mostly everyone in my comment section. I mean, you guys come out to support me and it means a lot. I think I'm generally a nice person, or at least I would hope I am. Some anime YouTubers are a little abrasive, for lack of a better word. Digibro, who is usually seen as having a pretty strong sense of what makes an anime unique and can analyze things pretty well and articulate, has seen somewhat of a downturn in subscribers. Some people that I have come across in various forums and discords, they attribute this to his personality and his attitude. And sorry to keep harping on Giguk, but I think he's a pretty cool dude, to be honest, and I haven't watched much of his videos, but from what I've seen, they're really good. He has a pretty good attitude of not bashing people about moe or whatever the anime man is talking about when he said what he said about those Fujiyoshi girls and how they love gay boys. But I think this is the biggest section because it has a lot to do with how you attract people and the people that you talk to on a regular basis. I mean, I like talking to the fan base that I have because you guys are just a pleasure. Except for the people that really hate me for Neo Yokio. I'll just never understand it. Probably never. But with all of these sections out of the way, I think it's time to circle back around to the original question, like who cares and why do we need them? Well, people sometimes want that confirmation bias in their lives. Others like watching content that is cool, and others don't really come here for that. Anime YouTubers are people that found a niche and they love doing things, and they love making a living off of doing these things, and they've been doing it for a long time. They should know what they're doing. All in all, as I said before, this isn't a video to bash them. I mean, trust me, that anime snob will probably be watching this and pointing out these things in his videos. I'm sure he's watching mine right now, and he's just watching me, watching out to see if I'm slipping, which, I mean, please don't. That his practice what you preach. I can't even talk right now. Just that series, just watch it. But this video is mainly about seeing who our anime YouTubers are and what they do and why they matter. They matter for content, conversation, and for knowledge. How they sell that to you is a completely different story. Sorry for the long video to get to one measly point, but I kinda had to rush this one out. I'm sorry for the lack of content, and I usually try to do a weekly upload, but because of work and a lot of the things that I do nowadays, I just don't have the time. But I may start streaming here in the near future, just so that way it can make up for a lot of the videos or lack thereof. But I hope to see you guys again in another video, and I just hope to get some more videos done. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.